Where did the medical inventions come from? Today, we're traveled to Germany, the country of fast cars, enormous castles, and devoted football fans. But what about medical discoveries? The first Nobel Prize winner in physics in the world was Professor Wilhelm Conrad Röntgen, enthusiast of photography who discovered how to take pictures of our bones without doing a surgery with mysterious rays, which we now know as an X-ray. X-rays immortalized the love for his wife, Anna, since the first X-ray ever was the X-ray of his wife's hand. Next, we have the first Nobel Prize winner in the field of medicine, Professor Emil von Behring, who discovered the antitoxin for diphtheria, a common children's disease, which earned him, most importantly, the title the Savior of the Children. Another Nobel in medicine was awarded to Robert Koch, one of the fathers of bacteriology, who discovered bacteria responsible for tuberculosis, cholera, and anthrax, and started a new era of hope for patients who were suffering from infectious diseases. Which country should we visit next? Comment down below. Medicine around the world, Great Britain edition. Great Britain is a homeland to famous royal family, Shakespeare, and Big Ben, and it's also birthplace to many medical inventions. It was here that the first blood transfusion was conducted by James Blundell, obstetrician who was looking for a cure for postpartum hemorrhage. And thanks to two British doctors, Sir James Young Simpson and Sir John Snow, patients can sleep safe and sound during surgery thanks to the invention of general anesthesia. We can also diagnose diseases with modern radiology techniques thanks to Sir Godfrey Newbold Hounsfield and for the invention of the CT, and Sir Peter Mansfield, who contributed to the development of the MRI. Also, the first Gray's Anatomy was written in Britain. Just not the one you think of. Dr. Henry Gray wrote one of the most important medical textbooks ever, Gray's Anatomy, which was first published in 1858. Where shall we go next on our medical journey? Today we're traveling to India, known for exceptional monuments, the land of soul-calming yoga, and heart-warming Bollywood, which is also the birthplace to plastic surgery. Sometime between 1200 to 600 BC, ancient physician Sushruta received the medical training from a disciple to Davantari, god of Ayurveda. He performed first nose reconstructions using cheek flaps, and his followers performed forehead flap techniques, and both of them are still used today. He invented over 120 surgical instruments, and some of them still exist and help during surgeries. He was the first to introduce anesthesia, but you won't believe that wine was the first anesthetic of choice. He knew how to surgically treat cataract, bone fractures, and hemorrhoids. Also founded one of the first medical schools ever. 6 years of training, taking the oath, practicing surgery on objects before treating patients. Sounds familiar? His wisdom is written down in Sushruta Samhita, ancient palm leaf treaty, which includes descriptions of over 300 surgeries, 1,100 diseases, and 700 medicinal herbs. Did you know that Australia is known for having the highest Nobel Prize winners number per head population in the world? Out of 15 Australian Nobel laureates, 8 of them won Nobel Prizes in physiology or medicine. Shall we take a look at their discoveries? 1945, Sir Howard Walter Florey started penicillin production and purification. 1960, Sir Macfarlane Burnet worked on acquired immune tolerance, aka how sometimes the body doesn't reject a foreign transplant. 1963, Sir John Eccles and electrical changes in the synapses, and he was also the mentor to 1970 Nobel laureate Sir Bernard Katz, who studied the chemical compound of synaptic connection. 1996, Professor Peter Doherty and research on how our body recognizes virus-infected cells. 2005, Dr. Robin Warren and Professor Barry Marshall, and the link between Helicobacter pylori infection and stomach cancer. 2009 Nobel laureate Professor Elizabeth Blackburn and discovery of telomerase, an important enzyme which helps to understand aging and development of cancer. That about India. Medicine around the world, Brazilian edition. Today we're traveling to the country known for the amazing carnival, astonishing monuments, and beautiful Amazonian forest, and also for the discoveries in the prevention of infectious diseases. In the beginning of 20th century, tuberculosis was taking a huge toll on many countries, and taking X-ray for each and every patient was extremely expensive and time-consuming. Dr. Manuel Diaz de Abreu constructed mass miniature radiography, a technique which produced tiny 5 or 10 centimeter X-ray pictures, which were cheaper and made in shorter time than a normal X-ray, and the disease could be discovered faster. Another famous Brazilian physician, Dr. Carlos Chagas, discovered the cause of a mysterious tropical disease in rural areas of Brazil. Kissing bugs transmitted a parasite which caused at first fever, headache, and swelling of the lymph nodes, but after some time, patients developed heart failure. The disease is now known in the honor of the discoverer as Chagas disease. Medicine around the world, Switzerland edition. Switzerland is a land of breathtaking landscapes, famous Swiss watches, and most delicious chocolate and equally delicious cheese fondue. It is also known as a homeland to two fathers in medicine: Paracelsus, the father of toxicology, and Albrecht von Haller, the father of physiology. Paracelsus is known for his famous saying, "Only the dose makes the poison," which he used vigorously in practice during animal trials and treatment. Albrecht von Haller performed hundreds of experiments to find how does muscles and nerves work. Switzerland is also famous for research about the human mind, thanks to Carl Gustav Jung, the founder of analytical psychology. Switzerland is also the land of thyroid gland, thanks to the research on pathology and surgical treatment of thyroid by Professor Emil Theodor Kocher, first surgeon and first Swiss to receive Nobel Prize, who reduced thyroid surgery mortality from 75% to below 1%. Where shall we travel next? Comment down below. Today, we travel to France, but we won't admire the paintings in Louvre, take a stroll along Seine, or spot the Eiffel Tower at night. Today, we're talking science. Without French scientists, it would be difficult to listen to the lungs and to the heart, since it was French physician René Laennec who constructed the first ever stethoscope. And thanks to the work of Louis Pasteur, we now know that not bad air and pollution, as everybody once thought, but the germs cause infectious diseases. French physicians took also great care of newborns and infants. Thanks to the work of Pierre Constant Boudin, the man who noticed that obstetricians didn't care about the children after they were already born, and pediatricians started to care for children starting from the age of 2. And to fill this gap, he created the first neonatology ward ever. France is also the birthplace to infant incubators, called baby warming devices by their inventor, Etienne Stéphane Tarnier, who showed that proper environment, hygiene, and isolation can help premature infants survive. Which country should we visit next? Comment down below. Today, let's travel to Austria, the land of classical music, astonishing Baroque buildings, the famous Habsburg royal family, place also known in the world of medicine. The most famous Austrian physician is undoubtedly Sigmund Freud, who started the wave of new research about human mind and our deeply rooted unconscious beliefs, the psychoanalysis. Austria is also the homeland to Viktor Frankl, the father of logotherapy, psychotherapy which considers person's life's meaning as a main source of motivation in life. German-Austrian surgeon Theodor Bildroth was a father to abdominal surgery. He performed first esophagectomies, the removal of the esophagus, gastrectomies, the removal of the stomach, and laryngectomy, the removal of larynx. We also need to talk about the personal physician to Archduke Franz Ferdinand, Victor Eisenmenger, who discovered a dangerous congenital heart defect. It is a defect of one of the septae in the heart, causes the leakage between left and right part of the heart, which results in cyanosis, nail clubbing, and heart failure, and now is called the Eisenmenger syndrome. Today, let's travel to Spain, the land of football, flamenco, corrida de toros, and also medical inventions. In 1888, Spain became the birthplace to neuroscience due to the work of Professor Santiago Ramón y Cajal, who discovered neuron theory. It is a concept where our brain consists of cells, neurons, which can communicate between each other, but also give signals to the muscles and receive signals from our skin. You will be also shocked to know that it wasn't a physician, but a Spanish singer and vocal professor, Manuel Garcia, who was one of the first inventors of laryngoscope, a device which helps to visualize our vocal cords, which are so important for singing. With laryngoscope, their anatomy and function could be finally revealed and properly described. And if we move back in time to Spanish Renaissance, we could meet Michael Servetus. He discovered pulmonary circulation, how blood circulates between the lungs and the heart to provide our body with oxygen and discard carbon dioxide. Where should we travel next? Comment down below.